Thank you for being here, Dino. It is an absolute pleasure to have one of the big names inside of the Asia Pacific South region here with me today. Tell people exactly who you are, who you play for, and how long you've been in the Rainbow Six competitive scene.
Hello, my name's Dino. I play for the Pittsburgh Knights team. I've been in the Rainbow Six scene for around 3 years now.
Now I look over your results of the past 3 years, and other than once, your very first competition with Pittsburgh Knights, you've not finished lower than about third. How do you go from 6th in Pro League Season 11 to top 3 dominating every single time you join a tournament or a league? What's going on?
Pretty much, we had some fundamental mistakes before that, and we picked up a new player, and he's our IGL now, and he brought a lot of new insights into the game. When he joined, we kind of changed and redid everything from the beginning, restructured the whole team. And I think we put in a lot more practice and a lot more effort leading up to the new seasons. And I think every single season we played, we got better and better and learn exactly how that region plays, because South APAC region is a lot different from just Oceania, and they're more aggressive. So we had to kind of re-look at everything again, and I think we're kind of at the stage now where we kind of know how they play, and now we're trying to focus on ourselves and how to counter them more often.
Speaking about Thai teams, for example, teams that I used to cast in APAC North, they are aggressive. You're right, and you do have to practice against such a new play style. I'm wondering whether the introduction of all these new regions has elevated your gameplay or just all of the Oceanic team's gameplay as a whole.
When we first played them, we kept getting destroyed. They were so much better than we were. It was kind of like an eye-opener to see how talented they were. And we kind of watched them, studied them, and we learned exactly how they play. And yeah, for sure, they've made the region a lot better as a whole.
Our borders and our geological, location or geographic location limits us from being able to practice and engage on an international level. That is we don't keep that hidden. That's not a secret. And it also limits the teams. How do you think that this is going to go between now and into the future? Because you couldn't go to the Mexico Major, which is a very, very sad part of the current restrictions with COVID, and you couldn't show everyone what you're about.
It sucked that we couldn't go to Mexico, and yeah, with the high ping, because ping's probably the biggest factor. Even right now, trying to scrim just other teams in our region, we have 150 ping, and that already limits us a lot. I will be so good if we'll be able to scrim other international teams. It's impossible. I feel like the only thing we can rely on is just watching VODs, and VODs isn't really enough to see how a team plays. You need to actually verse them in game. And I think that is the most limiting part about our region. It's just how far we are from everywhere else. I think, again, it just goes back to the more time we have to play against the teams, the better we will become.
Well, I think you've impressed the world and also your organization thus far, even though you weren't able to attend personally. You've had some pretty damn good results that teams in other regions would die to have. Finishing always top 3, that's not too shabby. So I think the Dino story and the Pittsburgh Knights story as a whole has a lot more to be told. Your support staff behind you in Pittsburgh Knights, managers, analysts, coaches, Picnic, for example, what do they provide to you? And do you think support staff in the APAC South region are not undervalued, but maybe underrepresented? They don't necessarily get the spotlight that other teams and players might get.
Our manager Kata and our analyst Sketchy and our coach Picnic, without them 3, we would not come top 3 every single time.
What is it that makes you different? The LATAM has a certain flavor. North America has a certain strategic flavor. What about APAC South? You said Thai's very aggressive. What's happening in Australia these days with the meta?
I think it's unpredictability. I think we have one massive gift is we know how to change exactly per round and every round. We're always keeping the opponents on their toes every single round. And in my opinion, I'm biased, but we have the best aimers.
Okay, you got better gunners than North America or LATAM? That's a big statement to make, I'm just saying. What do you think makes you the best team, or one of the best teams in your region? You're the best team currently, I can say that. One of the best teams in APAC South. You're beating teams like Fnatic, you're beating Invictus, you're beating all of these other teams in your region. What makes you better than those teams?
I think the way we kind of look at our region, because we kind of say that they're aggressive, so if we kind of just hold angles, they're going to give us picks. As easy as it becomes. We've watched games that they play against another aggressive team, and it's just back and forth, just aggression. But with us, we've kind of set back. We're a lot more, I think we're probably the most structured team in our region, and that kind of makes us more predictable, but at the same time, if we just we have more 1v1s, sorry, less 1v1s and more refrags. I feel like that's probably why we're doing so well, or as good as we're doing.
Now that you are sort of breaching the borders, as I referred to before, and Australia, it always got a little bit of the spotlight. I'm going to refer to one of the big names and the big teams back in the day that gave it. Mindfreak, Dizzle, those were the kind of people we looked up to back when, we first started playing COD. We're like, wow, Mindfreak, wow, Dizzle and these team, etc. Do you think Mindfreak sort of set the pace for what it is to be known as a good team inside of Australia, as well as having big internationally renowned support staff like Dizzle?
For sure. They kind of showed everyone that Oceania as a whole isn't a joke, and if you give us time, we can actually show our worth. Especially when they got picked up, when Mindfreak got picked up by Fnatic, that even blew the scene even more. Like a big org actually put time and effort into the scene. So overall, I feel like they've helped the scene immensely, and without them, we probably wouldn't have been as big as we are right now.
Do you think that the kind of dynasty that Fnatic left behind, because let's be honest, they don't necessarily get to top the leaderboards inside Australia anymore. They've moved to APAC North. They're not dominating there either. Do you think there's teams like Wildcard, like yourself, who are trying to sort of climb to the top and create the same kind of no name internationally that Fnatic got to do?
For sure. That's one of our main goals, and I'm for sure a lot of other teams in our region are trying to do that. For example, Invictus, Elevate, those teams are so good, and I feel like it's honestly, it's not if they will get it, it's when.
Anything you want to say to the Pittsburgh Knights fans, the ANZ fans out there who are watching this, or even maybe give a little bit of a word to up-and-coming players who are looking up to you, going, I want to be the next Dino in Siege in APAC South region. How do they even get to where you are?
Firstly, I want to say thank you to all the fans. Without you guys, none of this would be possible. I also want to thank the Knights, because without you guys picking us up, we wouldn't be able to play every single day and make it our job. And I want to thank especially you, Jess, for coming on today, and all the casters for always putting our name public. Because without you guys, none of the fans will be able to watch or know who we are. And for the people that want to, I guess, be the up and coming player, time, effort. Just don't give up, keep playing, and you'll eventually make it.